My friends, and welcome to another edition of the XFL Weekend Review, but we're live. I don't even know if you can hear me. I'm here with Connor Falk. We're stuck in a short corner of this bar because everything is super packed. Right now we're at we're at Walters here in Washington, D.C. for the first ever XFL game coming back 2.0. We're here and we're live inside this bar. It's packed. It's more packed than the owner initially had thought it would be because there's no spots. So we just found a spot and plugged in, we're ready to go.
Yeah, barely can move around here. It's pretty amazing. Just had a bunch of Seattle Dragons fans walk in here past us, and man, it's getting a little heated.
They got booed, but they gave us these Dragon Nations hats. Just walked right up, gave us hats, gave us two, so we appreciate that. I don't care who's a fan of what. I'm just excited that there's fans coming out here to watch the XFL. I mean, what is your take so far?
Yeah, I mean, I never went to an AAF game, but I have a hard time believing it was ever like this. We fully expect the Defenders game today to be completely sold out. Right now, the cheapest resale ticket is $180.
Really?
Per seat.
So I had friends
sold out.
Got seats for $45, and I would say on Thursday they went back online and they were $90. Now I know they opened up standing room only $15 seats, but I assume that those are gone too?
The standing room onlys are sold out now, but not only are they sold out, but yesterday when there were a few left, they were $69 a seat.
Oh.
And let's remember that when these tickets first went on sale for season tickets, they were $20 a pop for seated quarter end zone seats. So that shows right then and there the demand that we're dealing with.
I mean, my seats are $20 seats, and I am right section 130 if you want to come and say hello. Right, I mean, the field is right there. So the fact that all of a sudden standing room is $15 and now they're $60. You think Oliver Luck's prediction of that 10,000 is going to be easily hit?
Yeah, obviously this is the first week. We have to keep expectations because we will see an attendance drop off next week.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, it's just going to happen. I just based on my experience, it's somewhat inevitable with expansion leagues. But I think the league across the board, if they can finish the year with somewhere around 15,000 average across all of their teams, or more for some of the higher performing like St. Louis and Seattle, I think they'd be absolutely over the moon with that. Because we have to remember the most important thing is probably TV ratings.
And that's where I came in because I was talking to Chad Dukes on his 106.7, and I brought up the fact that AEW is a wrestling promotion. They got a contract with TNT. Within 2 or 3 months of getting great ratings, they renegotiated for another couple years. He asked me, do I think what was going on with that? I wouldn't be surprised if the XFL had so much rating success early on that they might renegotiate during the season. Do you think that's a possibility, or do you think we're 2 years before we see something?
2 years before.
Really?
I'd be absolutely floored. Just like knowing what I know about the sports industry and its business, ESPN, ABC, Fox, they're going to wait and see. Because here's the thing, it is very, very important that you see that first season ratings carry over to the second season.
Okay.
So, they're going to let this thing play all the way out. And then, then I think hopefully we have a good shot at getting that renewal. That pays somewhere like $150 million a year, I think would be what Vince would be looking for an initial TV contract, because that would give him an opportunity to recoup the losses that he's obviously going to be hit with.
Yeah. Now, I mean, again, this is all brand new. Over, under. Where do you think this league is going to be? Are we talking 3 years? We're locked for 3 years? Or is it going to be 2 years or 1 year? Where do you think?
I think we're locked for at least 2 years. I think ESPN, ABC, Fox are invested in seeing this deal go to its end. And then from there, a lot of factors come into play. whether or not the league has viability or not. So, keep a lookout for that. I think we're guaranteed 2 years, and that's what staff and players have been told. And then, we'll go from there and see what happens. But, the ratings have such a big role to play in that.
Yeah. So what's your take? So where were you when the XFL announced it was coming back to where you are now?
Yeah, so when the XFL released their press release and their announcement, I was sitting at FedEx Field because I was working for the Redskins. And I mean, I'm a big expansion football fan, so I was immediately intrigued. At that point, I thought maybe we had too many cooks in the kitchen because the AAF was really rolling along. So I'm like, oh man, this is a lot of spring football. Obviously, we can't handle more than one league, most likely.
Yeah.
And that kind of kick-started it, and then about 6 months ago, I decided to get serious and then see where I could take this as far as playing a role in this type of history.
Yeah. And then now you're with XFL News Hub.
Yep.
He's been appearing on radio. I've been appearing on radio. Other guys appearing on radio. And now we're here.
Yep.
The first game. So let's talk about some picks for this game. First up, DC Defenders against your Seattle. Well, hold on. Your Seattle. Now I don't know about. Clearly, this is their own logo.
Yeah, the embroidery is a little questionable. Still very much appreciated.
I'm surprised that they're in Washington D.C. They're Seattle fan here, but
honestly, with that neon orange, this is going to make a great hat to go hunting with.
Yes.
You know, not going to get shot by other hunters with that neon orange, so that's good.
All right, so first game up is Seattle Dragons, DC Defenders. What are you thinking?
All right, so I'm going Defenders all the way. The Dragons, even based on Jim Zorn's comments, I think are honestly one of the weaker teams in the league. Jim Zorn was coming out with public statements being like, we could have more speed and we could have more of this and that, but he has confidence that his players will execute. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but I think talent-wise, on paper, the Defenders absolutely blow the Dragons out of the map.
So here's my prediction, 14-24. What's your prediction?
Yeah, as far as the score goes, I think I'd be really happy with maybe like a 17-28. I hope it's not a blowout. Considering this is the people's first impression of the XFL, I would hate a blowout.
I mean, one of the things that you got to think about too when it comes to XFL games is we have this 3-point, 2-point, 1-point conversion that 24-14 scores 32 or whatever. It's not going to be. Could we see like a 50-point game, a 60-point game in the XFL?
I don't know if these offenses will be cohesive enough to be able to put together a game that high scoring. However, I do think you make a good point that we're going to see very unfamiliar scores.
Yeah.
We're going to see this is not going to be your traditional NFL 21-24 type of game. It's going to be something crazy like 15 to 26. It's going to be a little strange, for sure.
We'll take it. All right, next up, you have LA Wildcats, Houston Roughnecks. Any of the teams that could put up 60, it could be June Jones and the Houston Roughnecks.
Yeah, I love that run and shoot offense. Extremely unique. I'm very excited to see it in the professional level. They have no tight ends on the roster. No tight ends. So it's the biggest factor here is the Wildcats defense going to be able to keep up with their wide receivers? Because in the run and shoot, your linebackers need to somehow figure out a way to cover the wide receivers. So I'm picking the Roughnecks. I think it may be a bigger gap than the Defenders and the Dragons. So, maybe something like 33-14, something like that. And also, let me go out and say this. I think there's a 0% chance Josh Johnson plays, even though he's listed as questionable. If I'm going to be completely honest, I think this is more so the league not wanting to tell new viewers that Josh Johnson isn't going to play. Really? I mean, he has not practiced in over 3 weeks.
It's been that long. I didn't realize it was that long.
I was having sources tell me that he was not practicing all the way when training camp was still happening.
So why would they do that when it comes to Landry Jones and be like, well, Landry's not playing? Why would they do that with Josh Johnson? Now, I
don't know if they've actually said Landry Jones isn't playing, though. I know that they listed Philip Nelson as the quarterback in the game preview. However, I've seen leaks that he's questionable. He's officially questionable for the game.
So I was skimming through the XFL's content on ESPN, and Oliver Luck had said that Landry Jones probably will be out week 1 and week 2. But that's weird that Josh Johnson, basically the same type of deal. Why not just tell the league, tell people that what's going on?
Maybe Dallas is, as far as attendance goes and viewership, they're a higher performing franchise than the Wildcats at the moment. So maybe he thinks the Wildcats, I guess initially can't afford their star quarterback not to be a part of things. So they're being a little bit more hesitant. But I'm pretty confident that this is strategic.
Okay.
For sure.
So you heard it, you DraftKings degenerates out there, like myself, playing fantasy football there. Watch out for Josh Johnson. I got LA 18, Houston 45. I think they put up some big numbers against LA, even though LA is more of a defensive team, but I'm not feeling that part. All right, next up. Tampa Bay Vipers, New York Guardians, your other, and it made me realize too, having these games at 2 o'clock actually helps a lot because, for instance, in DC, it's kind of cold right now. So having a game at 2 o'clock versus like 12 is pretty good.
Yeah, so I like the Guardians here. Going along with the theme, I really like home teams this week. These teams have never played each other in a real setting. So I think in an environment that is hypothetically supposed to be against them, it could be really hard to be cohesive as a unit when you hear the boos and have the crowd against you. So I do think this is going to be really helpful to the home team. I'm picking Guardians here. I am not as high on the Vipers as Vegas is. Vegas loves the Vipers, but I don't get it, if I'm going to be completely honest.
So I got Tampa Bay winning 35-24, but I have to disagree with you. Now, one of the things I talked about in the podcast was your take on Aaron Murray, because you're not high on him at all. I'm all team Trestman. I have Tampa Bay winning it all because Mark Trestman wins in the CFL. But you're not high on Aaron Murray.
I'm not because, so it was different circumstances. He probably didn't have as good of a team surrounding him, but the Atlanta Legends experience with Aaron Murray was rough. 3 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Got consistently replaced by other quarterbacks. He got benched multiple times throughout the season. So we have to look at his most recent professional experience. Also, Aaron Murray has some solid backup quarterbacks breathing down his neck. And when you're thinking of it from a fantasy standpoint, you have to think of anybody that is going to take the ball from Aaron Murray's hands. Quentin Flowers. Quentin Flowers is going to be taking snaps from Aaron Murray, thus lessening his production. So I would just stay away from Aaron Murray if I'm going to be completely honest.
All right. Hey, all right, fans. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back without bad lighting. But hey, this is the first time we're doing this. We're having a lot of fun at Walters in DC, so we're going to hit a commercial break, and we'll be right back with more picks, more from Connor and myself. Right after this, stay tuned, my friends.
What's up, XFL family? If you're a fan of the XFL News Hub and you have a telephone, which I know all of you do because you're sitting there playing on your phones all the time, then why not download the XFL News Hub app? That's right, it's on iTunes. It's on Android. We have an Android version and an iPhone version of the XFL News Hub app. So what do you get? You get the latest news from XFL News Hub, the premier source of XFL news in the universe. Plus, you get push notifications when we have breaking news. You will be the first to know. You can leave a comment on some of the news right from your phone. Plus, you get this podcast on your phone as well. Remember, you can leave us reviews on the Google Play Store or iTunes. It links to our other social media accounts, and so much more. Be in the know. I know you're on your phones. People are on their phones all the time. They never get off their phones. So why not just download the XFL News Hub app on your Android or iPhone today? All you need to do is go to the Google Play Store or iTunes and just type in XFL News Hub. That's XFL News Hub. Download our app on your phone today.
All right, we're back here at XFL News Hub, our live show. Connor has been replaced. This is the new generation of XFL fans right here. So, let me ask you guys this. You got to talk into the mic. Are you excited about the XFL?
Yeah, I'm very excited.
All right, why don't you come a little closer so they can see you. So you're excited?
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Have you learned about the rules? Are you an NFL fan?
I'm an NFL fan, but not really. I haven't really read the rules.
Yeah. What's these signs? You guys got signs?
Yeah.
Where's the sign? Where do you get those? Can I see them? Show them right here. The Shield. Defending the Shield in DC. All right. So who do you think is going to win?
Defenders.
What's the final score?
I don't know.
I don't know. What do you think? Final score?
30 to 22.
30 to what?
22.
30 to 22 Defenders. What do you think?
I'll go with Gavin. 32-22. Defenders.
32. All right. What do you think? Final score?
35-27.
35-27. DC Defenders wins?
Yeah. Yep.
Any Seattle Dragons fans here?
Nope.
You guys know who Jim Zorn is?
No.
All right, good. All right, thanks for being on. Hey, I got another DC Defenders fan here. What's up, friend? You get paid?
We get paid.
No.
Yeah.
Joe, a friend of mine. Now, Joe, when I told you first about the DC Defenders and the XFL, I talked to you about Landry Jones.
That's right.
Now, you're a Steelers guy.
Of course.
Tell me about why you're not, because the league is very high on Landry Jones. Why are you not high on Landry Jones?
Just because I didn't think it was a great player, that great of a player back with Pittsburgh, and I don't know that times really changed much. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how they play.
Because everybody in the league is all like, Landry Jones is a star.
Yeah.
I say that to you, a Steelers fan, and you're like, no.
Yeah, you could barely make the team, right? I mean, so I don't know. I think this league's going to have a lot of younger players coming up. It's going to give a lot more exposure to folks, and I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll be a farm team a while for the NFL, but then maybe we pass the NFL and we've got even a better league than the NFL. You never know.
So one of the nice things about the XFL is that it can bring fans across the barrier. Because I am a Ravens fan and he's a Steelers fan, and now we can root a team together.
We now have a team where we are both genuine. So instead of me kind of rooting for Baltimore whenever they made it beyond the Steelers, now, you know, whenever we're rooting together on this team, we actually mean it.
We actually mean it. All right. Well, thanks, Joe. Right. Thank you, guys. All right. Connor is back. We got our last couple picks, and then we'll just do it. Next up on our picks, got to get the fans involved. So we got New York. Last one, Dallas Battlehawks. Another team that I feel like people are low on the Battlehawks, especially because they lost their offensive coordinator real fast. So what do you think about this game?
I'm actually going with the Battlehawks in this matchup.
Really?
Yeah, big upset, but injuries plays a huge role here. The Renegades offense has been pretty injured. It's been a little tough to be cohesive. I think that's going to play a big role here. Also, I do like the Battlehawks run game with Christian Michael, Matt Jones. So this is a one-week thing. I do have the Renegades winning the championship.
Okay, then they're your overall team.
They're my overall championship team, but yeah, no way they scored 42 points with the injuries that they have right now.
So he's looking at my score. 42. How, mommy? It doesn't matter who. I mean, like Joe was just saying, Pittsburgh Steelers fan, he's not high on Landry Jones at all. And so he's like, he's not
Yeah,
that great.
well, he's thinking of Landry Jones playing NFL talent.
True.
So let's remember that.
So I went 16, St. Louis 16, Dallas 24 on that one. So we also have our friends in the chat room. If you have any last minute questions, let us know in the chat room. We can take a look at that. Also, let's see here, what do we got in the chat room? Bull Party says, I do agree with you. Anthony says, hi, Hitman. You're in the wrong era, brother. Bull Party, let's go. Defenders. Oh, he says these kids know what's up. So right here. All right, cool. Love football. Wish I was there. Hey, we wish you guys were there too. All right, we've got games. We're ready to go head over. Any last minute thoughts? XFL, the launch of XFL 2.0 is here.
Yeah, enjoy this because it only happens once. We only have the first games of the league once, so enjoy it today. Tune in. Tell your friends to tune in. Order some pizza. Invite some friends over. And yeah, guys, let's just enjoy the ride.
All right, guys. For Mark Perry, this is Connor Folk. Thanks for checking in. I said we would go to one. I'm like, I want to go hang out at the party and then like go and talk to all these fans. We got plenty of people want to meet us and hang out with us. So thanks for tuning in. That's it for me, folks. That's it for Connor. And we will see you all later.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Cool.